What is going on, everybody? It is me again. It's HorrorFan34, and welcome to another video. And welcome to another horror convention recap video. This is going to be my recap video from the PA HorrorCon that was just this past weekend in Allentown, PA, March 2022. First con for me of the new year, 2022, and I can tell you guys, I had an absolute blast to be here, to be at this one as well. I would say this is definitely one of my favorite cons I've been to. I would say it's definitely my top 5 favorite horror cons. I had such a great time. Met 9 celebrities because they were all really good prices. So that's why I got a lot of them. So, and then I got 2 Blu-rays from this really cool vendor that I had no idea about. And apparently they are at Monster Mania too, that I'll be going to this upcoming weekend. So I'll be on the lookout to see if they have more stuff in that vendor because they have like a lot of rare stuff and all that stuff. It's pretty cool. I'll get to that though when I go to the pickups after I'm done the autographs and pictures and things of that sorts. But it was only a 2-day show, Saturday and Sunday. Of course, I went Saturday. I got the wristband right here from Still Saturday. And like I said, had a great time. It was, empty. It was beautiful weather out that day. It was very nice out. The hotel definitely seemed a lot bigger. I think they probably expanded the hotel a little bit from the last time I was there last summer in August when I met like Felissa Rose and all them. It seemed like the hotel did expand just a little bit though, so I guess they're trying to expand the hotel and trying to make this con bigger. Because if you guys don't know, the PA Horror Con is a little bit of a spin-off from the Showboat Horror Con that's in Atlantic City. So this is kind of like their little, I guess, branching out of doing a different con that they have in PA, which is my home state. And this con that's out here in Pennsylvania is literally less than an hour away from here. So it's literally not a bad drive at all. It's about like 20 some minutes to get to the freeway, and then you're on the freeway for less than a half hour. Like, it's literally not that far at all. So that's pretty cool that it's pretty close by to me. And the prices at this con were really, really good. I really did, like, you know what I mean? It's like I got so many people, and I got all the people I wanted. Pretty much I got like almost the whole lineup of the show minus the people that I've already gotten before. Like the people that were there that I didn't get that I've gotten before were Felissa Rose, Tony Moran, Dave Sheridan, and Alex Vince and Christine Elise were also there, but I already got those before at Monster Mania last year. So pretty much I have the whole lineup if you think about it. So not including the people that I did get this con. So you know what I mean. It's like, but I can't wait for Monster Mania this upcoming weekend. But anyways, I know rambling on for about 3 minutes, and I haven't gotten into the autographs and photos. But I don't have a flyer to show for you because I don't think they really give out pamphlets for the show like Monster Mania does. So I walked right into the con, and I immediately went straight to the autograph room, which is the main autograph room. They had a few people in the hallway that were out there, like Felissa Rose and Tony Moran, Dave Sheridan. But the main autograph room is on the very end of the hallway. You make a right, and it's right there. So the first person that I met at the PA HorrorCon is, I walk right up to her. Like, this is pretty much the main reason why I went to this convention was because of this lady. And now as we're gonna get onto the pictures and the autographs, but first, like, they had a Friday the 13th Part 6 reunion, they had a Chainsaw Massacre 3 reunion, so things of that nature. So getting on to the topic at hand here, the first person that I met was Jennifer Banco. Now, for people who don't know who Jennifer Banco is, she was in the very beginning of Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. She was the young Tina who has the telekinetic powers, and she causes her dad to fall in the lake, and he gets grabbed under by Jason. Yeah, I hate you, Daddy. I wish you were dead. Like that little girl. And also the little girl in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, Yakety Yak, Don't Talk Back. That little girl. who had the skeleton doll. That's her. She was in a few other things. So I think she was in a film called Barbed Wire, I think with Pamela Anderson, and she guest starred on like a couple TV shows and things like that. I think she's doing some newer projects to this day too, I believe. But Jennifer Banco was the first one I went up to, and Jennifer Banco was super nice. I would say definitely one of my favorite meets of all time at a horror con. She's very talkative, very, very fan friendly, and very happy go lucky, and always smiling and laughing and talking with everybody. And Jennifer Banco, just an awesome, awesome person. I talked to her for probably at least 10, 15 minutes at most. We talked sports because she saw I was wearing my Flyers hat. And she was talking about how she's a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan and she likes Ben Roethlisberger, and we were talking a little bit about that because she asked me where I was from, and I said I was from Philadelphia. And she's like, "Oh, of course! Like I see, like your hat kind of gave that away." So she was cracking jokes about that. So we were talking about sports. We were talking about our dogs because we're big dog lovers. Because I have two dogs and she has a dog. She was showing me pictures on her phone of her dog, and I was showing her pictures of my dog. We were just talking about anything in general, life in general, cracking jokes back and forth and laughing. And, Jennifer Banco was just an absolute ball to meet, a very nice lady. And another really cool thing, too, about Jennifer Banco, my experience with her, is that because usually for all these horror cons I have index cards that I give to the celebrity and they make it out to me with the quotes and everything. Jennifer Banco, apparently with all of her fans, including myself, she was so blown away by my index card thing, she wanted to take a picture of it and tag it on her Instagram. So she asked me what my Instagram was, and I gave her my Instagram, and she followed me and she tagged me and things like that, and now things like that. So that was really, really cool. She did that with all of her fans, taking selfies with fans and on her Instagram story, and and things like that. And just a really, really nice lady, very funny, and just very. I would say, like, you want the definition of a fan friendly celebrity. Jennifer Banco is definitely one of the top ones right there when it comes to like fan friendly, encounters at a horror con. She's just super awesome, super nice, and I had a great time talking with her. So after I got my photo taken with her, she gave me a big bear hug and squeezed me real tight and was like doing this to me and thanked me for coming out, things like that. So, like I said, just a really, really nice lady, Jennifer Banco. I'm so glad I was able to meet her, because she was actually a replacement for Kate Hodge, who Kate Hodge was supposed to be at this horror con, but she had to cancel because they had a Chainsaw Massacre 3 reunion, and then Jennifer Banco took Kate Hodge's place. I would like to get Kate Hodge at some point down the road, but the fact that they added Jennifer Banco was a thumbs up for me. So, excellent meet overall, Jennifer Banco, just really, really nice. I can go on and on about her and things like that. So, I'm just blown away by her generosity and things like that. She was just an awesome meet. So, here is my picture with me and Jennifer Banco. And here is a picture of Jennifer Banco signing my Jason box set that's been signed by a few people before, so here's her signing it. And here is Jennifer Banco's autograph on that photo. Okay, guys, so moving on here, I apologize if you heard that ding. I can't turn off text messages on here, so I do apologize for that. So if you hear dinging, please forgive me for that. I can't turn it off, or else the whole volume of this video will go off, so I can't do anything about that, so I do apologize for that in advance, in case you hear any more dinging in this video. But Okay, so moving on here. Next up here that I met was a guy that I met before back in 2014, but I didn't mind getting him again because my photo with him wasn't really the greatest because the lighting in the room wasn't the greatest and it was kind of fuzzy. But I didn't mind getting him again because I wanted to get him on something else, and that is R.A. Mihailoff. And all you know him as Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. He's been in like Hatchet 2, and he had a small part in License to Drive as the tow truck driver. But I mainly got him on The Danger Zone, which I feel like is a film that not many people bring up to him at all. And R.A., I handed and what's kind of funny is like because I wore my Andrew Dice Clay shirt to the con like I did with the rest of the cons I've been to, and the very first thing R.A. Mihailoff said to me was when I walked up to him, he said to me, "Jack and Jill went up a hill and I said, with a bucket of quarter. Jill came down with 250. Oh!" So I finished the nursery rhyme that Andrew Dice Clay was known for saying back in the day. And R.A. was just clapping and just smiling at me and laughing. So it's pretty cool. R.A. Mihailoff's an Andrew Dice Clay fan. So we were talking a little bit about that because he commented on my shirt. And then I handed him my Danger Zone DVD, and he was, blown away that anybody brought it up to him. So then he was telling me, really, really cool stories about working behind the scenes and about the producers of the film and things like that. He really enjoyed the quote that I had picked out for him. It was a long quote, but he didn't mind signing it at all. He wanted to be sure, he had enough room on the DVD to sign it. So he was writing as best as he can, and he wrote out the whole thing, and it turned out perfect. You'll see it in the photo, but R.A. Mihailoff, just an excellent guy, very, very funny guy, very down to earth guy, and even before it was my turn to meet him, the people that were in front of me, they had I think 3 kids with him, or 2 or 3 kids, and R.A. Mihailoff was playing around with them and giving them high fives and cracking jokes with the kids, and you can tell R.A. Mihailoff is just a genuinely nice guy, the way he interacts with kids and things like that. Just a really, really awesome guy, R.A. Mihailoff. Just really glad I was able to get him again, and my photo with him turned out better than the first one. I guess because of the lighting in the room and all that stuff. But getting on to the pictures here. But here's my picture with R.A. Mihailoff. And here's a picture of R.A. Mihailoff signing my Danger Zone DVD sleeve. And here is R.A. Mihailoff's autograph on that DVD. Okay, here, moving on here to the next one. I decided to go for some of the Friday the 13th Part 6 people, so I decided to get some of these real quick. So the first one I met from that group, this is the third king. I'm going in order of all the celebrities that I met in order. I know they're kind of out of order, but first it was Jennifer Bango, then it was R.A. Mihailoff, and then it was this girl. So the next one I met was Darcy DeMoss. Now, Darcy DeMoss, if you know her as Nikki, Friday the 13th Part 6. Darcy was another one, really, really nice lady, a very sweetheart of a lady. She asked me how I was doing, she asked me what my name was, and she's saying, "Oh, it's such a beautiful day out, isn't it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful day." And another cool thing, too, about Darcy is that before she signed my Jason box set, she was looking at all of the other people that signed it. She was like, "Oh, let me see here. You got Adrian on here. You got Lauren Marie on here. You just got Jennifer Banco on there." And then when she got to Judy Aronson's name, she was telling me a really cool little fact that her and Judy Aronson went to junior high together, which I did not know that for a fact. So that was a pretty cool little tidbit right there. Wow, Darcy DeMoss and Judy Aronson went to junior high together. That was pretty interesting. I had no idea. So she was telling me a little bit about that. So, and Darcy, just a really, really nice lady. She was very talkative and things like that. And the way she took pictures and all that stuff, it was really, really cool. Very smiley and very talkative with everybody. Just a fantastic meet all around, Darcy DeMoss. So I actually have 3 pictures of me and her together. So I'm going to show those real quick. So because they were like different poses that she did. One was a normal one. One was like her pointing at me with her finger like this, and then one was a peace symbol. So I'll show all 3 of those pictures. So here is the first picture with me and Darcy DeMoss. Here is the second picture with her pointing at me. And then here is the third picture with her holding up the peace sign. And here's a picture of Darcy DeMoss signing my Jason box set that's been signed once again by many people. So here's her signing it. And here's her autograph on the box set. It came out in bright pink and it looked awesome. So here's that picture. Alright, everybody. So that is it for Darcy DeMoss. So getting on to the next one here that I met, sticking with Friday the 13th. So the next one that I met from that group was CJ Graham, of course, Jason Voorhees himself from Part 6. CJ Graham, very nice guy as well, very funny. He was cracking me the hell up the whole time I was meeting him. He was cracking me up. He's like, what's going on here, Mr. Andrew Dice Clay? Because I guess he knows, he talks about Andrew Dice Clay a lot. He was talking to me about that because he noticed my shirt. And I was like telling all these people I'll be seeing that asked me about him. I was going to see him next month and things like that. So we were talking a little bit about that. And then I handed CJ Graham my Jason box, and he's like, whoa, like this thing got the shit beaten out of, and he was cracking jokes about that. He's like, I was like, man, I've had that laying around for like over 10 years. He's like, I can tell, man. He's like, holy shit. He's like looking at how beat up it is and things like that. So he was cracking jokes about that. And another funny thing too with CJ Graham was that when it was time to take the photo with him, his agent like accidentally did something on my phone that made the camera shut off, and I had to open up the phone back up for him to get to the camera. And CJ Graham saw my profile picture of me and Jill Whitlow from the Showboat HorrorCon last year, and CJ saw that when I was trying to get the camera. He was like making a joke. He's like, whoa, who's that naked? What's up with that naked lady on your phone? And he was like cracking jokes about that. So I was just laughing my ass off. CJ Graham, just really, really funny guy. So here is my picture with CJ Graham. And I screwed up on this one. I forgot to get a picture of him signing it, so I don't have anything for that. So I do apologize for that. But here is a picture of the autograph on the box set that he signed. Okay, guys. Moving on here. Next up here, after I met CJ Graham, sticking with the Friday the 13th people, next up that I met was Tom McLaughlin. Of course, the director of Friday the 13th Part 6. He also directed a few other things as well. I think he also did Sometimes They Come Back for More. Tom McLaughlin, another stand-up guy as well. He was another one that commented on my Andrew Dice Clay shirt. He was telling me that he saw him a few times back in the day, and we were talking about that. I was telling him that I got tickets as a Christmas gift this year or last year for Christmas, and we were talking about that. So Tom McLaughlin, just a great guy overall. I also got him on my Jason box set. So Tom McLaughlin, really down to earth guy. I talked to him for probably five or so minutes about Andrew Dice Clay. So it was a pretty cool little interaction between me and him. So Here is my picture with Tom McLaughlin. And here's a picture of Tom McLaughlin signing the Jason box set. And here is Tom McLaughlin's autograph, or his picture of the picture of the autograph on the item. Okay, guys, moving on here. So the next one that I met was another one that I really wanted to meet at this horror con, and that is Tony Hudson. So far, I've mentioned Jennifer Banco, Ari Mihailoff, Darcy DeMoss, C.J. Graham, and Tom McLaughlin. So at 5. We have four more to go. So next up here was Tony Hudson. Of course, she was Sarah in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, and she was also in Just One of the Guys. She also guest starred on a lot of TV shows like The A-Team and The Love Boat and things like that. So I really wanted to get her on my work print version of Leatherface Chainsaw Massacre 3. Tony Hudson was a really, really nice lady as well. I've talked to her for probably 5 or 10 minutes. Very talkative, very sweet lady. She noticed my Andrew Dice Clay shirt as well. So we were talking a little bit about that, and I was telling her that I turned my friend onto Andrew Dice Clay. You know, got him to start acting like him and doing quotes and everything like that. So she asked me, like, so give me your friend's impression of what Dice will do. So I said to her, like, whenever me and my buddy, like, see each other sometimes, whenever he'll see me, he'll yell out and go to me, "Oh!" And Tony was laughing her ass off. She thought it was so funny. So we were laughing about that and things like that. So yeah, it's so funny that we were talking about that for a little bit. And I showed her what I brought her to sign was my Leatherface Chainsaw Massacre 3 work print version, and she was blown away by it. She was like holding it up and looking at it, and she was asking me about it. And I was telling her that it was like the full, like, uncut with all the gore put back in, and Viggo Mortensen's death was all, you know, put back in there in the alternate ending, and she was just like blown away that there was a work print version of that somewhere that I got at a convention. So we were talking a lot about that. Yeah, and Tony Hudson, just a very, very nice lady. Another one that was fan friendly, just like Jennifer Banco was. Like I said, Tony Hudson, just awesome person all around. She was smiling, having a good time, and things like that. She shook my hand a couple times and thanked me for coming out, and things like that. Just an awesome lady, Tony Hudson. So here is my picture with me and Tony Hudson. And here's a picture of Tony Hudson signing my Leatherface Chainsaw Massacre 3 DVD sleeve. And here is her autograph on the item. Okay, guys, moving on here to the next one here. Decided to go get next one here that I wanted to get. I've been wanting to meet this guy for a while, and I figured this would be a good time to get him. Michael Berryman. Of course, all of you know him as Pluto from the original Hills Have Eyes, and he was in Devil's Rejects, and he had a small part in Weird Science as the mutant biker guy. You know, I lost my teaching job, that guy. And he was also in Deadly Blessing. I got him on Deadly Blessing because I feel like no one ever brings up Deadly Blessing to him, and I showed the Blu-ray to him, and he really enjoyed the. Oh, before I get to that too, Tony Hudson. Another thing I forgot to mention about her was that I handed her my index card, and she was really impressed with my index card that I gave her, and things like that. I was even showing her like, oh, like I got R.A. Mihailoff to sign this because she was asking me like if I wanted R.A. to sign my Leatherface Part 3 thing as well, so that way she'll leave room for him. And I'm like, oh, I already got R.A. Mihailoff on this thing. and I showed her my Danger Zone DVD that was signed by him, and she's like, "Oh man, like look at you, like all prepared and things like that." So, forgot to mention that about Tony Hudson. But going back to Michael Berryman, uh, he was a really cool guy, Michael Berryman, very down to earth guy. He was another one that commented on my Andrew Dice Clay shirt. He was pointing at my Dice shirt, and we were talking a little bit about that. And then he was telling me some really interesting, like, behind the scenes stories about how much Sharon Stone was kind of a pain in the ass to work with on Deadly Blessing. So he was talking a lot about that and going to these really cool stories and telling a lot of cool stories about Wes Craven and all that stuff. I mean Michael Berryman, definitely a really good like source of info, like him telling you behind the scenes stuff and things like that. A very cool experience. And Michael Berryman really enjoyed my Deadly Blessing Blu-ray that I got him to sign, because he never gets Deadly Blessing brought up to him that much, because people always bring up Hills Have Eyes and Devil's Rejects to him. And Michael Berryman, and I don't know what it is with me, but I always seem like I have the best luck with celebrities. But after Michael Berryman signed my Blu-ray sleeve on the inside, he looked at the slipcover that it came with, and he's like, He's like, I'll give you. He's like, oh, this slipcover looks really nice. I'll sign this one for you. I'll sign this for you too. So he gave me a second autograph for free. So he did not have to do that. He did that on his own. And Michael Berryman, just a class act all the way around. And what's really cool is when it was time to take the picture with him, he did a thumbs up, and I kind of did this, like the pointing the finger, like, look at this guy, this cool guy right here. And his agent was like, so he's like, man, that's scary that you guys like both held up your hand at the same time and like did something different with it. Like I'm doing this and he's doing a thumbs up. So it was a pretty fun moment right there between me and Michael Berryman. So here is my picture with the legendary Michael Berryman. And here's a picture of Michael Berryman signing my Deadly Blessing Blu-ray. And here are the two autographs that he signed. Like, one is on the Blu-ray sleeve, and the other one that he signed for free on the slipcover. So here's that photo. Okay, guys. Moving on here to the next one here. So far, let me see. I got Jennifer. There's a lot of them in this one. Jennifer Bango, Ari Mihailov, Darcy DeMoss, C.J. Graham, Tom McLaughlin, Tony Hudson, and then Michael Berryman. So now 2 more left to go. So next up here that I met was Kim Myers. Kim Myers, of course, is known as Lisa from Elm Street 2. Mainly know her for that. And I got her to sign my Elm Street box set. Kim Myers was a really, really nice lady as well. I talked to her for a little bit. She was like, what do you have for me to sign today? And I handed her this big box set, and she really liked the box set that I brought for her to sign. And what's cool, a really cool story about Kim is that when she was like signing it, the Sharpie that she was signing with wasn't really the greatest, so she asked her agent to get a different silver Sharpie, and she was like apologizing to me that the Sharpie didn't turn out the greatest. And I'm like, no, like, don't worry about it. She apologized to me for like probably 2 or 3 times, and finally got a Sharpie that worked, and she traced over where she previously signed it, so that way it looked really good and things like that. And I was asking her if she was enjoying herself. She said she was having a great time. Everybody was really nice out there and things like that. And I actually said to her, like, I have an index card for you for, with the quote and everything that I want you to sign. I hope you don't mind, making it out to me and things like that. She's like, no, not at all. She's like, it's actually easier that way. So that way that way I know what you want and things like that. So, Kim Myers is a really, really nice lady. And just an overall awesome person, and another person that I've met in the Elm Street franchise. So here is my picture with Kim Myers. And here's a picture of Kim Myers signing the Elm Street box set. And here is her autograph on the item. Okay, guys, moving on here to the last celebrity. Oh, one more thing to tracing back a little bit, because this is how fun I had at this con. I keep forgetting out, I keep leaving out details and all that stuff, but going back to Jennifer Banco, when I handed her my index card, she actually kept my index card as a souvenir because she really liked that someone like went through the time and made an index card with a quote and everything, and she thought that was so cool. So she asked me if she could keep that as a souvenir, and I'm like, sure, go right ahead, you can keep that. So I that was another one I forgot to mention too about Jennifer Banco. I wanted to mention that real quick before I get to the last one here. But the last celebrity that I met was sticking with the Friday the 13th people again. I decided to get this guy, Tom Matthews. Tommy Jarvis himself from Friday the 13th Part 6. And he was also in Return of the Living Dead as well. Tom Matthews, really, really nice guy. Talked to him for probably 5 or so minutes. He was like, I was showing him, he was really impressed with my Jason box set that had all the people on it. And he was like asking me if I had the Friday the 13th Scream Factory set, and I said I do. And he was like asking me like, oh, like did you get like the poster that it came with and things of that nature. And I said like no, like I don't order from Scream Factory's website. I just get it off Amazon. He's like, oh, okay. So we were talking a lot about the Scream Factory box set, how amazing it is, how the artwork looks, and all the features that were on there. So that was like our whole 5-minute conversation was just that. And Tom Matthews also really enjoyed the quote that I had picked out for him. And another thing too that was really cool about Tom Matthews is that he signed it in green on the back because I ran out of room on the front of it, so he was the first person to sign it on the back, and he signed it in light green, and it looks freaking awesome. So Tom Matthews, definitely a great experience meeting Tom Matthews. Another one to add to my Jason box set. So here is my picture with me and Tom Matthews. And here's a picture of Tom Matthews signing the Jason box set. And here is a picture of his autograph on the item. And that is pretty much all of the celebrities that I met. That's everybody. Like I said, great experiences with all these people. Just an excellent meets all around for all these people. Now I'm going to get on to the 2 pickups that I got here real quick. So, first up here, the complete series of Salute Your Shorts, which is awesome. And the complete series of Nick Arcade, which is cool. Now the thing that this vendor that I got these guys from, it's a really cool vendor because they have like a lot of like sort of rare stuff. There's like they have like the whole series of The Nanny. They have the whole series of the original Dragnet. They have the whole series of Alf, and they have episodes of Jeopardy and Ed, Edd and Eddy, Cow and Chicken, like old Nickelodeon stuff like this. Like, it's so cool, like with what they sell there. And if you ever go to a vendor room where they're at, and you can find cool stuff like this from your childhood, I would highly recommend you check these guys out. These guys are awesome guys. And funny thing too, when I was talking with the guys that ran the vendor, they were Andrew Dice Clay fans, so they were spatting out half of the nursery rhymes, and I was finishing them, and they were high-fiving me and things like that. So they were big Dice fans as well. So pretty cool little story right there with the vendor guys. So that is pretty much the whole entire convention recap. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.